There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's have a little think about that one. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Adobe Express session for Recycling Week. It is Recycling Week all week this week. And apart from furiously recycling, now you're going to be making some incredible Adobe Express digital media all about recycling. So I'm flying solo today. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm flying solo. This is your captain speaking. Kyle was meant to be on, but he's being called away to do something else around drawing and things like that, because he is the world drawing expert. So you're with me, you lucky things, all the session through. Right. Before we get going, let's have a quick look at, let's get it up. I know that some of you are on this page already, you lucky people. This is our page, which we're going to be using today. It's Recycling Week. This has things like the QR code, although, if you're on the laptop, desktop, Chromebook, you probably don't need that. But if you're looking for the iPad session, by the way, Ruth is on the other link. Your teacher has the link to the iPad session, so do click on that. Ruth is on the other link. If you have a mix of devices, I would probably go with the session where you have the most devices and probably pair people up. It's okay for the first challenge. For the second challenge, the video challenge, you might need a more specific, you might need to choose between the two, but it's up to you. Okay, quick shout out here. Let's have a look. Year 5, Bellingham Middle School. Good stuff. Hello there, Miss O'Kane, you legends. Good stuff. Well done. Keep those comments coming in if you can. That is really nice to see people out there. I can see that there are plenty of schools on the call today, which is cool. Right, challenge number 1. What are we going to do? We're going to do graphic design. We're going to create a poster. We're going to use text to image as well, which is going to be very special. I didn't put it on this example over here because I wanted to make it even more special. I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but we're going to be doing something very special with this. You can click this button over here. You've got example text here, you see. If you click that, it's going to open this page. I can see lots of people in that document as well. You'll need that for your first challenge. And then challenge number 2 is going to be a video editing challenge. You've got a little example video down there. This was made by Kyle. If you've been on a previous live lesson with us, you'll have met Kyle, I think, by now. If not, where have you been? Where have you been? Yes, so it's going to be, that's the video editing one. It's going to be the second one. Sorry, the little example down there. We've always got to remember to share the tab when I change tabs. It is there. Right. So a couple of things before we get started. What are the kind of rules around these sessions? Well, they're not really rules. They're just bits of advice, really. So the first one is I'm going to be demoing things on screen. Now, you should work at the same time as me, really. You should be working at the same time as me, but don't feel like you have to keep up. You don't. It's absolutely fine. I might be going a little bit fast. I am going to keep it pretty slow. I'm going to hopefully do it slow enough so that you can keep up. But if you do fall behind a bit, don't worry too much. But if you fall behind a lot, just press pause. That's absolutely fine. Just press pause and then restart it whenever you like. That's a good way of doing it. Just press pause and restart it whenever you like. It's not a race. You work at your own pace. And if the teacher or yourselves feel like you need a little break just so you can catch things up, hit pause. I don't mind. I don't even know you've hit pause. And then you can carry on when you're ready. Right. Rule number 2 is if you complete both of your challenges, challenge number 1 and challenge number 2, you get some free swag. Easy peasy. I'll be sending out emails to all the teachers after the session saying, hey, who completed their challenges? Because if they do, or if they did, I can send you out some free swag. And then the rule number 3 is if you then go and teach your skills to other people, other classes, other teachers, whole school community, whatever it is in your school, then you get to have VIP swag. That's the fancy stuff. That's the really fancy stuff. So there you go. Rule number 1, pause whenever you like. Rule number 2, once you finish your challenges, get some free swag. And rule number 3 is if you go and teach other people, you get even better swag. So there you go. Right, let's crack on because I am always getting in trouble for waffling. So no waffle. I'm back here again, back at the start. If anyone needs this page and they haven't got it, there's the link up there, bit.ly/expressrw. What does RW stand for? Recycling Week. Of course it does. So this is the first one. Challenge 1, graphic design. Learn to sort your recycling bin correctly. I've just been teaching my dad. He's staying with me for a while. And I've been teaching him, you can't put that in there. You can't put that in there. You can't recycle that. So if you click on the example text button here, it will go through to this page here. We've got loads of people in here now. Brilliant. What I can recycle, what I can't recycle. So you're going to be doing all of those things. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to grab this title. Okay. You could do that as well if you want now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the start here. I'm going to go, let me share the tab. I'm going to go to Adobe Express. We're ready to rock now. Make sure you've got Adobe Express open. And I'm going to start by, well, we're kind of going to be making like an infographic. It's going to be an infographic. Now, you have things like poster down here, create from scratch, infographic, create from scratch. But to be honest, I think some of you might want to print this out. So I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to press the plus up here. And here I'm going to go for letter. Now that might sound like, why is he doing that? It's not a letter. I know it's not a letter, but the size of the letter is a really good one for if you want to print it out. Okay. So I'm going to do the letter and it's going to come up there. Now, some of you might be shouting at me and saying, hey, what's the first thing that we do when we open up a new project? And I'm getting better. You have to rename your project. Recycling Week infographic or Recycling Week poster or just Recycling Week, whatever you like. That's fine. Now, the reason why we do that, you should all know it by now. The reason why we do that is because when you're trying to find your work later, it is very, very helpful if you've given it a searchable name, a memorable name. Okay, so let's do that. Let's give it memorable names. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Now, first things first, I'm just going to get rid of that media tab. We'll open it up in a bit, but that's don't need it right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to background color. Okay, click that little background color. There are different ways to do this. But I'm going to go for background color. And here I'm going to go to custom. Okay, and I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to drag the little slider along here where all the greens are because it's recycling. And generally, recycling bins can often be green. That's a bit bright, that isn't it? That one's a bit better. The further you move it down towards the black, the darker it becomes. So maybe just somewhere about halfway. That looks good to me. Okay, click off it. We've got our background color. Perfect. Now, one of the things that I might do here, and if I share this tab now, you'll see that if I in this graphic I've got on the right hand side here, the green one, I've got like a little texture on there. Okay, and I've done that because I feel like having a texture on there kind of fits with the kind of eco recycling theme. So what I'm going to do is go to design assets, go to elements. You see elements here, open up elements, go to design assets, search in design assets, and then I could put things like flex. Is that going to give me something? Yeah, that gives me stuff. Flex, like little flecks of paint, or you could just go to texture, or you could go to something like grain. Yeah, maybe the grain is a good one actually. Right, I put that in there. Now I put it in, it's really small, so just drag it until it fits like that. And then actually what you could do is you could spin it as well. Spin it until it's 90 degrees, bit of maths for us all. Pop it in here, pop it so it's right in the corner, and then pull it out. And then just keep pulling it out until it's right on top of the page. There we go. Got a nice little grain on it. It's kind of like eco-recycly type grainy thing. I don't know. I made it up. Whatever. Now that looks good to me. I'm happy with it. Now you can put photos in the background. That's cool as well. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you wanted to, what would you put in there? You could go to something like media. You go to photos and you could put forest, because that's kind of recycly, isn't it? That's recycly. Is that even a word? Yeah, recycly. This one here. And then I could click that. And what I could do here, you see down here, set as page background. Boom. Put that in there. That could be the backdrop to your poster if you want. I'm going to leave you to make that choice yourselves, I think, because, you know, you're all clever people. So make that choice yourselves. but I'm going to press undo here at the top. You see that? Undo. And then I can undo again. And then I'm just back to my green with my kind of, what did I say? It was grain, wasn't it? Grain. Okay. So next thing I want to do, remember when I was in this tab, I copied the title here. I copied the title. So if I go back to Adobe Express, go to text, add your text. Now it gives you placeholders text in here and it's highlighted already, which is handy because now all I have to do is press Control and V, or I'm pressing Command and V, depending on what machine you're using. And then I'm going to pop in my new text. Waste less, recycle more. So I'm going to put in, I put my cursor just before the R there, okay? And I'm going to hit return or enter. And then because I want it on 2 lines. I definitely want it on 2 lines. And then I'm going to select all of it. There's a couple of different ways to do that. Control A, Command and A, depending on what you're using. Or just click and drag over it all. And then here are all your options on the left-hand side. Okay, now, what you might have noticed, you might not have noticed, is that actually at the moment, this is all aligned to the center. Okay, actually, I want it to be aligned to the left. All right, simple as that. Do that. Right. Now, if I click back on it, I can position it in the kind of position I want. There we go. And then, I mean, it does look incredibly boring as a font. So I'm going to go to my recommended fonts. You see them there? Recommended. Go to view all. And then I can choose a more exciting font. You can, if you don't like any of them that you see, you can keep going through until you find, oh, this one's quite cool. I like that. What font is that then? That one's called Titanium Web. Well, there you go. Wow. And there's loads of different weights. That's what these are called. Different weights in this font family. This is a font family. Now, I like that because when you are, if I go back to this tab here, this example that I created here, all the fonts are from the same family, but they look different, but they have they all have a similar design. They all have a similar design. Okay. So I'm kind of going for that. That's what I want to do. I want to do something within the same family. Okay. So I've got waste less, recycle more. That's my title. I could stretch it out if I like. I could also hit this little button here, the text spacing button, and I could space out the letters if you wanted to. Waste less, recycle more. That's looking good to me. Okay. Now, if I go back to our doc here, there's loads of people in here now. You've got every bin counts, learn to sort correctly, people. It's recycling week. And if you end recycling week without knowing how to sort your bin properly, I'll be sad. So I've got that piece of text copied. I'm going to add my text again. Put their placeholder text in again, as usual. I'm going to paste in my new text. Now I'm going to highlight it all. Go to my alignment, left align it all. Maybe look at the letter spacing. It's a bit big, actually, right? What I'm kind of looking for, really, is to get it all onto one line. So I'm just using the minus button on the font size thing here. Where's it going to go? There we go. That's when it pops onto one line. That'll do. And then this one was called Titanium. So with it all highlighted, I can go Titanium Web. There it is. Click that little arrow. It'll give me all the different font weights. And what I could do is do bold italic. Yeah, nice. I like that. And then you can see, if I just zoom in a little bit more in my screen, I'm doing that by getting my fingers and just moving out on the trackpad. Or if you want to do the other way, that will zoom out of it as well. What you'll see here is, you can see I can move this around. And you see it snaps to the left-hand side. That's saying, hey, you have aligned yourself perfectly on the left-hand side. Well, that's what we want. That's what we want, quite frankly. So get your alignment right, get your sizes right, get your fonts right. In terms of the color, I'm quite happy with white. I think it stands off the page nicely. So I'm going to keep the white there like that. Right. What's next? What is next? Let's have a look here at this tab at my example. Well, we've got a list of things you can recycle. and we've got a list of things you can't recycle, and we've got a dude over here, one of the bin men, and that's what we're doing. So let's have a look at what we can do here. So first things first, I think I'm going to go over to elements again, and I'm going to create these sections here, like the tick and the cross. I'm going to do the tick and the cross. That's what I'm going to do. So let's go back here. So in terms of, if I go to elements and then just move this along, you've got icons here. Okay, go into icons and I can just write tick. Okay, I'm looking for something pretty simple. So this one here looks good to me, the third one. Let's click that. Go straight in there. And actually, I'm going to probably keep it black, actually. Probably keep it black. It looks good to me. Now, what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to drag it down to around about here. You can see I'm aligning it on the left again. Lining it on the left again. That's what I want. Okay. Now I've got that. The size, I think it's okay for now. But let me zoom out. Okay. It's quite a big tick, actually. Maybe I'll just reduce it ever so slightly. There we go. Cool. And now I'll do a similar one. And I will do cross. Okay. Now, you will get some church symbols on there. That's fine. But if you keep scrolling down, yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Now, it is a plus sign, or it could be a medical sign, depending on how you're thinking. But if you just select it and rotate it until it's gone, hang on, 45 degrees, and it becomes a cross. Right. Again, what am I going to do? I'm going to zoom in here just so that you can see how this is going to work. Okay. Now, if I align this, is it going to do it for me now? No, I think it's too big still. Let me reduce the size quite heavily, right? And then keep reducing the size. So, right, okay. That is not the same size yet. Not the same size yet. Usually does a better job of snapping here. That is, I think those two are roughly the same size, maybe ever so slightly bigger. Yeah, that'll do. I think even maybe slightly smaller. You know, I'm getting very detailed here, but that looks good to me. They both look the same size. And now I've done that, I'm going to bring this down here, make sure it's aligning with the line going down the center. And that looks like roughly I'm going to have enough space for my things I can recycle list and things I can't recycle list. Okay, so we're in a good spot now. Now, next thing. We've done a lot of text. This has been quite sort of regimented so far. It's been quite sort of organizational so far. Let's have a bit of fun. So if we go to photos, you could search the photos and you could go something like bin man. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff here. You could, what I'm looking for is something where, you know, that one's quite good, actually. I like that one. Let me just pull it out so you can see it. You see? You got a chap there. Got the bin in the back, the bin lorry in the background, got some bins in the foreground. And what I could do here is I could go to crop. You see on the left-hand side, crop. And I could do it as an oval, maybe something like that. And then, you know, position this where I want it to be. That looks pretty good to me, actually. Quite happy with that. And then if I hit return, or just click off the page, doesn't really matter. Then you could have an image like that, and you could just put it slightly off the page if you wanted. That works out quite nicely. Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. Or if you're not happy, just press replace there, and then what else? You know, just keep on going down until you find something that you like. I mean, there aren't a huge amount of ones that I really like. I mean, it doesn't have to be a bin man. It could be this dude here. This one's a good one. So I could press replace. Now it's gone back in this cropped circle. But if I just press crop again and just do freeform, then that's fine. I can just do it like that. And Yeah, bring it in. That's fine. Click that. And then I could put my man there. And then remove background. Check this out. Yeah, that works well. And if you wanted to, you could always flip him. Hey, 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 hey. You can have a bit of fun doing things like that. That's quite fun. There you go. Always keep him. Yeah, I want to make sure that we've got the bin in there. That makes a difference. Okay. And maybe, I mean, I could make it bigger there. There we go. Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You know, you can crop it so that it's in a circle, for example, or whatever, or remove the background, whatever you want to do. And what other images could you search for? Refuse collector, maybe that might get some good ones. Yeah, there's some more there as well. Yeah, I mean, if you just put recycling in, I don't think you'll get anything which is that relevant. You could do the wheelie bins. That's quite good. But yeah, I'm not sure how much, because you want one where you can remove the background, I think personally. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you don't want to remove the background. That's totally fine. But here's another thing that you could do. Check this out. Text to image. Ready for this? Now, because I want an image which is kind of going to be like a person standing on this side of my graphic, a bit like the one that I've just put in. If I go to text to image, I want to look for a portrait one. That's kind of standing up style. Okay. So let me just drag out the box a bit. And then it says, tell us what image you want to create. Okay. This is the fun bit. So buckle up your seatbelts. Let's go. So I'm going to put lady carrying a rubbish bag and pulling a wheelie bin. Then it says, what kind of content type do you want to do? So you've got different types there. I'm going to do an art piece of art. And then it says, well, what kind of style do you want? And do you know what? You could play with this forever. But I found that techniques and then lino cut is a really cool way of doing it. I really like the things that come out from this. So if I click generate now, I have to give it some time, but it's going to generate some results here. And you get options and you can always load more. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's give it some good vibes. Good vibes. What are you going to come up with? Oh, nice. I like it. All righty. Now, I'm going to load some more. Wouldn't mind a bit more color, actually. Hopefully, the next ones are going to have a bit more color. And I'm also looking for something where I can remove the background. Hey, this one's good. That one's really good. Select. Yes. Okay, now I've got that. I'm just going to click anywhere on my screen. Click the image again. And click remove background. You can do exactly the same as you can with any other photo. Oh, not so good. Let's restore that. Okay. That was a shame. Let me try remove background again. Yeah, hasn't done a good job on that. Not done a good job on that. Right, I'm going to delete that. Text to image again. Portrait. I don't know, just for a bit of variation. Man pulling, or maybe do pushing a green wheelie bin. No, a wheelie bin and carrying a rubbish bag, and put tall smiling man pushing a wheelie bin and carrying a rubbish bag. Art, I'll keep it as art, and the techniques again, I'll do lino cuts, and then I'll do generate. Let's see what we get. Just let me pull this out so it's a bit bigger. What are we going to get? This is fun, this stuff. I love doing this text to image stuff. Hey, yeah, like it. Okay. Do you know what? The first one works for me. Happy with that. So click it and then remove background. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Is it going to work? Yes, that one worked perfectly. And then also you can flip it around again if you want. You see, that's good. It's kind of looking into the center of this infographic, which I like. Nice. Move it right over to the side. Yeah, that is great. Love text to image. It works so well. That is perfect. Okay, so now that we've had a bit of fun with that, let's go back to share this tab instead. Right, let's go back to our docs. So we've got a list of what I can recycle and what I can't recycle. Okay, so now rather than just type, copy and paste all of that, if we go back to this tab here, what you can see is, we've got a green tick here, which means yes, you can recycle. So I'm going to put recycle rather than, what we can recycle, and then down here, what we can't recycle. I'm just going to use the icons to tell us what we need to know and use fewer words. So if I go back to this tab here, I'm going to go to text, add your text. Now it's given me the same type of text as we had before, which is cool. But actually, instead of bold, italic, I'll go for just maybe I'll go for regular. Bring the size right down. I think I'm looking for maybe about 100. I can just type that in actually, 100. Right, and then drag it in here, and you can see here, if I zoom all the way in, you can see here it's telling me at different points, yeah, that's aligned, or maybe there, that's aligned to the center. Perfect. So if you zoom out, you can have a look at if you think your size is okay. Maybe bring it up actually. Just drag the box out. There you go. That's telling me it's aligned to the center. There you go. That'll do there. And then easy way of just, making sure you get the same font and the same size is going up here and pressing duplicate. Okay. Drag that one down, and you can see it's telling me that I have aligned it to the perfect place. Yeah, that'll do. And then instead of recycle, I'll put don't recycle, and then shift it over until I see, yeah, it's telling me, there you go, that's perfectly aligned. Okay, we're good to go. So what else do we need to do here? Share this tab. Okay, we need to do the little dots, like our bullet points. So let's go back over here and how are we going to do this? Well, let's go to elements. Let's go to shapes. Let's go to circles. Got a circle in there, easy peasy. Right, what I'm looking to do is make it smaller than the icon up there. Right, that'll be our first one, or maybe around about there will do. Right, now I can change the fill. Could change it to like, a really nice bright green. Yeah, why not? Stands out off the page, and green for go. Like, that's good. You can do that one. So I'll use that, green for go. And then when I've got that, I can press duplicate. Put it in the perfect position. Duplicate. Put it in the perfect position. Now oh man. Sorry, I wasn't sharing the right tab. Let me just get rid of all of those and do it again. Right, sorry about that. Sometimes I do forget. I get so enthusiastic about it. Right, if you're here and you want to create your bullet points, go to circle. It's giving me the color I wanted. I wanted that green, that really greeny fill, because green for go is good. And then bring it right down. There we go. Bring it over here. Pop it in a place where you think it's good. And then up here, duplicate. See it? You see it? You see it? Duplicate it. Bring it down. Oops. There we go. Put it in the right place. Duplicate it again. Put it in the right place. Duplicate it again. You see, if you need to, just zoom in. And then put this one in the right place. You see there? That's telling me that's perfectly spaced. Look at all of those guidelines there saying, yeah, all the gaps are perfect. That's what we like. Now, once you've done that, here's a really cool trick. Click that one. Press shift. Click the second one. Keep shift down. Press the third one. Keep holding shift. Press the fourth one. You've got them all. Right. Now, I can click duplicate. Gives me another row of 4. And then all I have to do with that row is bring it down here. Yeah. That's just about, I think that is perfectly aligned. Let go. And then with them still all selected, change the fill, go to custom and make this one a red. You can't recycle these ones. Don't dare. Don't do that. As my daughter would say, don't do that, daddy. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. It's getting a bit personal. So you've got red for things you can recycle, red for things you can't recycle. Nice. And then if we go back to this tab here, how many dots did I have? I had 4 on each one. Okay. So what I might do is get, 1, 2, 3, 4. Choose any of these 4. It doesn't really matter. You can choose the last 4, in fact. Copy that. Go back here, share this tab. Now I'll go to text, add my text. It's still on the Titilium web, which is good. Paste all of that in. Right. Now, obviously, that's way too big. Let me select it all. Let me align it to the left. Let me bring the text down to 100. Nice. Okay. And then let me just put it in so that it lines up with the first dot. It lines up with the first dot and the recycle. You see, if I move it around again, I can line it up with the recycle heading there and also with the first dot. Now, it's not aligned to the others. That's okay for now, because what we can do now is go over to our text spacing button, click that, and then increase the line spacing until all of them are in the perfect place. Look at that. That was genius. That was genius. If I do say so myself. Right. And then what you can do is select that, duplicate it, bring that down to the second section there. Now that's all lined up perfectly, which is great. But obviously the text isn't the right text. So let's get 4 of things that we can't recycle. Let's go for food soiled packaging, polystyrene, foil, and paper towels. Could compost quite a bit of that. You can't recycle it. So let's go in here, select all of that, paste that in. Nice. All I got to do is put some capitals in, because these ones haven't got capitals. I must have forgotten that. There we go. Might just nudge this one up slightly. I have to click off and then just, there you go. A couple of nudges up. Yeah, right. This is basically all done now, but you'll be thinking, do you know what? There's a little bit, things are a little bit off generally. He needs to work on his spacing, and you wouldn't be wrong there. I'm not going to lie. It wouldn't be wrong. I might move my guy off to the side and just have him kind of half coming on. That's okay. That's a style choice. And then also all of this recycle section, I want to move it up a bit. So how can I do that? Well, watch. Click the tick, press shift. Now keep your finger on shift. Press the title, press the text. Green button number 1, green bullet number 2, green bullet number 3, green bullet number 4. So I've clicked on all of them now, and then all of them are now moving all together. Yeah, that's good. I like that there. That to me is all done. That to me is all done. I mean, if I was really picky, I might then go and do the same thing. Click 1, press shift, keep your finger on shift, and do the same here, so that I had a bit more balance at the bottom as well. Just use my arrow keys to shift things up. That's it. Easy peasy. I'm really happy with that. Do you know what I'm happy with? I'm happy that everything's aligned to the left-hand side. I'm good with that. I'm happy with this text being aligned to that text, being aligned to that text, being aligned to that text. And I'm happy with my text to image. That was great. I love that. But you know what? I'm going to have another go at it just because I love doing it. So let's go to media, text to image, portrait. Let's put lady. Let's put smiling lady pushing a recycling bin and carrying a bin back. And then, as always, I do like this lino cut. I think it works well. You can just try anything. It doesn't matter. Let's go here. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? What are we going to get? Come on. Oh, yeah, that one's good. I like that one a lot. That one's good. So then I could click off, click back on, remove background. Hopefully it's going to keep that one's better. And the reason why I like that one is because it's it's a narrower photo, a narrower image. Sorry. Yeah, that one works really nicely. And then also I am going to flip it because things and people looking into the center at your text, that's a good design point. That's what you want them to encourage. You want to encourage them to look at the things that you want them to see in your work. That one's perfect. I love that because it's got like recycling signs on the bag as well. So it's a bit of a strange recycling sign on the bin itself, but that's fine. I'm not really that bothered about that. Right. Beautiful. I'm really happy with that. I hope you're kind of happy with yours as well. That would be good. I would be glad if you were. Let me see if I've got a banner I could put up here for you to share your work. Yeah, I have. Right. Let me show you how to share your work. So if you want to download it, click download and click the download button. PNG is fine for images. And then you just click download. And because you've given it a title, Recycling Week infographic, that will be the name of the file size. That will be the name of the file. There we go. That'll be the name of the file. And that's downloaded to my computer. I got a little message saying that. You can't see that. But also, if you want to share your work, you press share. Now you can share it via Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. You can invite people to work on it in real time with you, or you can publish it to the web. Teachers, if you're not aware of this, you can click this button, allow others to remix. That's a very handy thing that you might be using in your class. But otherwise, publish the link. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there it is. Copy the link. And then you can stick it in there. And if you open this tab instead, this is the link that I just copied. And it's got its very own webpage. Sweet. Nice. Okay, let me go back. Share this tab instead. Go back here. And then let me also put, if you wanted to share your work so that we could see it, there's the link. You can share your work anonymously. And I may well do a rogues gallery. I may well do a little showcase of people's work, which would be cool. So do, if you can share your work, and it can be completely anonymously, that's absolutely fine. Then stick it at that link there, and I'll pop some up on the screen a little bit later. Hopefully, we shall see. Okie dokie. Right. Let's go back to this tab now, because now, if you need to pause and finish your challenge 1, do that now, because we are moving on to challenge 2, video editing. Here you go. Make a creative video about recycling. It could be a creative video like the one in the video example below. Alternatively, if you're using iPads, blah, blah, blah. If you're using iPads, there's a different kind of thing. So, and you can use that button there. But we're just going to be using, Express Video in order to create something that looks a little bit like this kind of thing. Hey, not expecting that, were you? Nice, eh? So there we go. That's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to go on to challenge 2 now. So let's go back to Express, share this tab. So this is your poster or your infographic, however you want to call it. And then I'm going to press the, well, I mean, yeah, okay. I don't have to press the big plus in the top left if I don't want to. Can do it that way if I want to. But also you can press add here and you could create a custom size, right? Now 1920. Do you know what? I'm not going to do it like that. Let's just keep it simple for now. There are ways to do it, and we can do it another day. But you can press the plus here, go down to video. Okay. Now this brings you straight through to here. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to create our video? Well, we are going to do that by putting a photo in our background here. Okay. Now, you might have seen on the example we just showed before that we're kind of doing it on a beach scene, because there's lots of like the 2-minute beach clean is quite popular. You might have seen that if you've been to a beach in the UK. But we're going to do a kind of like a dirty beach scene. So if I go to beach and I'm going to go to Beach Wales, something like that. Right. What have we got here? Nice. Now, the kind of beach that I'm looking for is one where the sand is kind of close and there's lots of it. Okay. Sand is kind of close and there's lots of it. So you can see down here, share setters page background. Let me click that. Okay. Also, let me take off that share your work thing. Okay. Hide that. Okay. We've got a bit more space now. So the reason why I want to have our beach scene like this and have lots of sand and it for the sand to look kind of close is because if we go back to this example here and look at Kyle's example, you can see he's got lots of kind of dirty things on the beach, and we're kind of animating them out in order to give a positive message about how good it is to recycle stuff. Otherwise, beautiful beaches like that end up with loads of dirty things on them. So that's why we want to have a sort of a stretch of sand, for example, where we can put dirty things on there. So let's start populating our video here with lots of different objects. So first things first, let's go to plastic bottle, something like that. Alrighty, now I'm looking for a single plastic bottle. That one's good. This one's good because it's got a white background already. So let me whack that in there. Now, let me remove the background very quickly. Boom. Done. And then what I can do is I can spin it around. I mean, I could have it kind of in the water, I suppose. But I think I'll have it like washed up on the beach. Okay. I could do a few of them, to be fair. Could do a little group of them. So I could go to media. There's another. Let's see if there's any other plastic bottles where the background removal would be easy. I'm looking for kind of scrunched up bottles, really. That one was probably the best. Am I going to find any more? I'm finding ones that are, kind of pristine, I suppose, and I don't want them to be pristine. These two, they'll do. Yeah, that'll be fine. So what I'll do is I'll select those, remove the background, and then bring it down here. Make them a similar sort of size, maybe flip them a little bit, and then you kind of got this little group of plastic bottles. So I said the word group there, and that's important because you can select the first one we put in, press shift, select the next two, and you can actually group them. And once they're grouped, you can move them all around at the same time and do whatever you want with them. Okay, cool. Let's have that in there. Right, let's get some other ones in there quickly. Let's go to wrapper, something like that, like a plastic wrapper. Okay, looking for ones that are sort of more rubbishy, rubbish wrapper. I wonder if that'll make any difference. Plastic bags, good idea, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll have that one. Remove the background. And the plastic bottles are kind of whitish, whitey blue. This one's kind of white, so I am going to have to get a little bit more color in my work as well. So go back to media. So you've got to take your time on this. Boot, old boot. Looking for a single old boot. I'm going to find one. That's a pair of boots there. This one, that one might work actually. Yeah, that'll do. And then remove the background on that as well. Okay, that's good. Maybe I can, yeah. So it looks like a sort of discarded old boot on the beach. There you go. Yeah, sort of upside down, lying on the sand. What other things did Kyle have in his? He had like media. He had broken umbrella. Broken umbrella. Nah, I don't get anything for that. If I just do umbrella, these are all kind of pristine. I wanted the broken one really. Yeah, maybe I'll go for something like broken bike. Will I get something like that? Ooh, there are some good ones. Maybe not ones that would particularly work well with removing the background. Do you know what? Cardboard box is probably an easy one. Cardboard box. Okay. Yeah, this one. Nice old looking cardboard box. Let's remove the background on that one. Done. Bring it down a bit. Okay, and I'm going to look for one more thing. What can I look for? What kind of thing am I looking for? Maybe like, what can I look for? Plastic. Maybe I'll just put something like plastic rubbish. Plastic rubbish. See what we get. There's probably, I mean, I could just put a bin bag in there. That might work quite well. What am I going to find? Yeah, this green one. That's a good one. I mean, people do dump some of the weirdest stuff. So let's get that in there as well. Okay, right. That'll do. That can go in there. Maybe I put that one there. You just want to, space things out a little bit. That'll do. Okay, so here we've got a very sort of unpleasant beach scene with lots of different pieces of rubbish on there. Not happy about that at all. So what else are we going to put on here? Well, if you're in the media tab, like we have been for all of this plastic rubbish nonsense, you go to videos. One of the things that is in our example video, if you go to dark clouds, for example, oh, nice. This one's quite cool as well. That one's good. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, have dark clouds in there that kind of give it this sense of like, oh, this is not a nice place to be. This is not a nice place to be at all. Let's stick that in there, right? Could put that in there. Yeah, and then reduce the opacity on it. It has got some trees in there, so I might want to get the trees out of the way. Maybe that's not dark enough. Maybe bring the opacity up a bit. Yeah, maybe I'm not so happy with that one. Not so happy with that one. Get rid of it. What is this one? That one doesn't seem to be moving much, so I'm not going to use that. 10 seconds long. I'm looking for something that's got a little bit of, got quite a bit of time on there. That one, that's only 10 seconds. Do you know what? Maybe I'll have to just go with one of these smaller ones and just make sure that the video, if I bring the opacity down, make sure that the video doesn't last longer than that. Yeah, kind of like this dark clouds, sort of depressing style scene. That'll do. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some text on. So this is a video on the top. All right. We've got all our objects underneath and it's a depressing scene. You can press play down here. You got these dark sort of clouds making everything look quite depressing and all the rest of it. And what we're going to do is one by one, we're going to select. I can select them on the right hand side because when the video's on top, You can't select things underneath, but you can select them over here on the right-hand side in your layer stack. You see, I'm going through them all, selecting them one by one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate these out of the picture. Out of the picture. So let's start with the big green bin bag, right? Once you've got that selected, scroll down on the left-hand side here, go to animation. And instead of it animating in or looping or anything like that, I'm going to animate it out. I'm going to animate it out. Okay, so this one, maybe I'll rise it up. And maybe I'll make it rise up like, 3 seconds, something like that. Personality soft, direction up and out. Okay, let's see how that works now. Yeah, just at the end there, kind of goes out. Okay, that's cool. So that's that first one. Then maybe I'll select another one, maybe the cardboard box. Down to animation, out. How are we going to get this one to go out? Maybe we'll, I put one in by mistake. And maybe we'll get it to shrink. Yeah, let's get it to shrink. Maybe a bit of a shorter duration this time. And then let's see how this one goes. Yeah, okay, nice. Then I'm going to select my boot. How do I want this to animate? Let's have a look. Out. This one can... What about if it pops out? Pops out. Yeah, I'm going to get it to pop out. Duration, maybe about just under a second. That's fine. So let's see how this one goes. And that pops out. Perfect. And then my plastic bag animation. How am I going to get this to go out? Maybe it can drop. Maybe it can drop. Duration around about a second as well. There you go. You can see, you get a little preview when you well, actually only when you put it on the first time, but you see that one drops out. And then the last one, which is our grouped bottles, animation out. This one can drift, slide, tumble. How's this going to work? I've never used the tumble one. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, nice. It kind of bounces out. Right. Now I've got all of that there. Now the only thing I want to make sure that is not happening is that they don't all go at the same time. Now if I press play, they're all kind of going at the same time. Right. That's okay. But I want to stagger them a bit. So what I'll do is take my playhead back to the start. Now you see if I select my green bin and then turn on show layer timing, it's right at the bottom there. Show layer timing, right? I can decide at what point it goes out of the scene. And I do that by dragging this somewhere else. So maybe after like 2 seconds, that one can go out, or maybe like a second and a half. And then maybe I'll then select my cardboard box, and that one can go out after maybe like 2.5 seconds. Then my boot, that one can leave around about, like 3.5 seconds. And then my plastic bags, they can go out about just 4.8 seconds. That'll do. 4.7, maybe 4.8. And then my group of plastic bottles, that can go out just at the end, right? So now if I bring my video back to the start, one goes, cardboard box goes, boot goes, bags, and then bottles. Right, nice. So what am I going to do here? Well, also, I'm going to select my video. And how do I want that to animate out? I want it to fade out. So it kind of goes to sunny, you see? I want it to go to sunny. So I'll just fade out, duration 1 second. That's absolutely fine. And then I will, in my first scene, what I want is I want that beach scene still, okay? So let me go to the 3 dots. Let me duplicate that scene. Okay. Now it's got all the things in there still. It's got the video in there. Just delete that. Delete your bottles. Delete your boots. Delete your bag, your other bag, and your cardboard box. Okay. Now what you'll see is depressing scene, video, dark clouds, things going out slowly, one after the other. Once the last thing is gone, we've got a beautiful beach scene. Okay. So let's round this off now by putting some text in. Let's go back to the start with our playhead. This is our playhead. Okay. Back to the start. Go to text. Add your text. Okay. I need to allow it to do that. I don't know why it was asking that. Let's go in here. Sorry. Recycling is or maybe I can put recycling changes. This might be quite cool, actually. Recycling changes. Oh, press the wrong thing. Press my text. Drag it up. I'm going to put it on top there. It's gone right in the middle, which is nice. Now the font's a bit boring. So maybe I'll change it to white. Maybe I'll have a look at some recommended fonts. Let's go to, what's that like? Yeah, not really finding any of those. Not really excited by any. Oh, this one's cool. I like that one. Reduce the size a bit. Make sure it's slap bang in the middle. There you go. Recycling changes. So that's going to come in. There we go. And then I could always animate out the text as well. Yeah, I'm going to animate out the text. So let's go back here. Click this. Go down to animation. Out. Recycling changes. Oh, I like that. What was that one? That was grow. Yeah, we'll grow it out. Okay. The recycling changes, and it's going to go out. And then I'll put in some new text. Add your text, and I'll put everything. Recycling changes everything. Okay. Now, that looks good to me. Put that right in the center. And then in terms of, what was the font in this one? This one was called Copal Standard. So if I go back here, select this one. I'll go to Copal Standard. There we go. Everything. Change the fill to white. Reduce it down ever so slightly. So it's all on one page. Still a bit big. Bring it down. Center it up. And maybe, maybe I could put it down here. Recycling changes everything. And then in terms of animation, I don't want it to animate out. I want it to animate in. So I'm going to go to in at the start of here. And I'll rise this one, I think. Yeah, nice. That'll be nice. So now I can have a look. Recycling changes everything. Okay, cool. And then what I might also do, when does that actually appear at the top? Stops there. And then what I could do here is go to media, go to photo, I go text to image again, go to portrait, and I'm going to put person, I put like a happy person dancing on their own. Happy person dancing on their own. Fine. I'm going to stick with my same technique as before. Go to Lino Cut. I like that one. Generate it. Because what I'm going to have is going to have someone dancing on the sand. Why ever not? Let's have a look. You can get a photo and just remove the background as well. That also works. There's no problem with that. Yeah, maybe something like this one. Yeah, that looks good to me. Select it. Remove background. Come on, you can do it. Yes. And I like the way it's got this kind of cut around the outside as well. That's nice. Flip it so that she's facing into the center. And then also, I'll put it right on the top of everything. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And then in terms of animation, I can just loop something and I could have it like wiggling. Yeah, that works well. That'll do. You can reduce the speed and all the rest of it. So now you got this video which goes All sad at the start, but all the rubbish is going out, it's going out, it's going out, it's going out. Final one comes off. Recycling changes everything. And then you can decide how long you want that person dancing for. That's entirely up to you. But the thing that's going to make this really, really work is go to audio. I'm going to bring my playhead back to the start. Search audio. I'm going to go for sad. Now, what have I got? Yeah, this one will do. That one's a good one. But don't forget, I don't actually want it to all be sad. So you can see what I'm doing here. It was here before, and all I did was wait until there's a little double-headed arrow appear at the side when I've got my cursor over the edge of it. Drag it into the middle. Okay. And then on the other side of this, I want to put some more music in. So here I'll go to like happy, maybe happy hip hop. Let's see what we get. Good. So let's have a look at how this is going to work. Now, if you want to preview things and have a little bit more space to watch, you can press that little button. You can see that little down arrow just there. See that little down arrow? Click that. Watch this. That's cool, isn't it? I like it. That is cool. So, what else would we want to do here? I mean, not a lot really. Don't have to do anything. You could add figures dancing in there. You go back to photos, text to image, go to portrait again. Children dance is but like happy children dancing in a group. Dancing in a group. Keep the content type to art. Go to techniques again. Go to Lino Cut. That will hopefully give us a similar style to the lady we've already got in there. Click generate. Maybe you want to make like a little beach party. Changes everything. Once rubbish gets taken off the beach and that kind of thing, it means that people actually want to go and spend time on the beach. So let's see what we've got. Oh, nice. Like it. So you could, depending on what style you want to go for, really, you could load more and see if there's something that's a little bit more similar to the style we've got here. But to be honest, because it's like randomly generated every time, you might be lucky with that. But we can try, can't we? This one looks quite good, actually. Is that going to work? No, there's kind of things are being cut off in that one. Maybe, do you know what? I'll just put happy child dancing. I think maybe the groups. Text to image. Let's do it again. Sorry. Happy child dancing. And then techniques again. Go to Lino Cut. Go to generate. Might be easier if we just do one. If we do just one more character, might be easier to remove the background and that kind of thing. Hey, I like this one a lot. So I'm going to click off, click back on, remove background. And then I could flip them around. And there you go. I mean, they're quite similar styles. Quite like it. There you go. Bit of fun. Whenever you're ready, you can click download. I'm not going to do that now because I haven't yet named my project, have I? Recycling Week Video. There we go. Now, if I download it, that will be the file size. Now, video resolution 720 is fine. It's absolutely fine for what you need. Any bigger, you're just taking up more space. So let's not do that. Do that if you need to. Otherwise, go to share. You can invite people to work on it with you. You can publish it to the web as we normally do. Recycling Week Video is the title because that was the name of my project. Teachers, don't forget, if you've got something that you want people to remix, allow others to remix, is all there. And then publish link. Now, when you're doing video, you've got images in there, you've got graphics in there, you've got text in there, you've got music in there, you've got animation in there. Things take a while to render, so they all kind of get put together in a pancake like that. So you do have to wait a little bit longer than normal than you would with an image to get your link for this, but it doesn't take too long. So we can wait for that to come through, but it's already there. Copy the link. Brilliant. And then it probably won't be ready just yet, but I will take a little check. It'll probably say something like, oh, hang on. Yeah, it's ready already. Look at that. Sweet. Perfect. And I could also turn my music. Sad music. Forgot to animate my my young child here. So if you wanted to, you could go back in, select it, and this is a good idea. I was gonna say about this anyway, because if I wiggle this person, now what will say is, if you share your link and publish to web, it'll be like, oh, you need to update your link. You see that update link? And if I do that, once that's telling me that my link is ready again, I go back to this video and play it again. This one here, the person will actually wiggle, but not until you've updated the link and refreshed this page. Okay. So, for example, it's still updating my link. And at the point at which it has updated my link, then I'll be able to go back to that page, press refresh, and the young child, boy, girl, whatever it is, will be able to wiggle. Okie dokie. That is pretty much where we're at. That's pretty good. I'm happy about that. Let me just check to see what we got. See what we got. Yeah, we are ready to go on this one now. If I press it again, I'll need to update the page. So let's do that. Yeah, there we go. It's come through. Boy wiggles now. Yeah, see, boys. That got pushed out because I updated the link again. So it's important. It's an important point, that. So I know it might sound trivial, but it's not. If you want to change something and you want it to be reflected in the public link that you have, then go back in, press update link, and that will all work. And there you go. We've had two things today. We've had our, let me just take this off the screen. There we go. We did our poster to start off with for Recycling Week, all the do's and don'ts of things that you can recycle and the things that you can't recycle. That was an easy one to do. Bit tricky with kind of moving things around and making sure things are aligned, but it's worth the effort to do that. So please do take the time to align things properly. It does make a difference. And then the second one was making our video. The animation thing is a good thing to do. The timing of when things animate out is really important as well. Get used to doing that. Don't forget to switch on that little show layer timing slider, and that will mean you'll be able to adjust when things move out of the scene, for example. And that's it. That's how you do it. Don't forget to download and share your work and all those kind of good things. And also, don't forget to come to the next session. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. We've got a Halloween session. We've got another Black History Month session. We've got Remembrance Day coming up in November. What else have we got? Let me just do a quick check. We've got Remembrance Day, and we've got, come on. Anti-Bullying Week. That's massive. And then we've also got COP23, the climate change conference, at the end of the month as well. We're doing sessions for all of those things. So do come down. We'd love to see you there using Express and just generally having a good creative old jam. Right. That is it from us, or from me. I was on my own, wasn't I? I hope you didn't mind it. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you on the next one. All right.